So I think we are 42 something, right?
I think 65, right? 64?
Yeah, 65. You're right.
Right, 65. Okay, Mary, go ahead, 65, please.
I should have studied. I should prevent anger arising toward those who injure my spiritual masters, relatives, and friends. Instead, I should see, as in the manner shown before, that such things arise from conditions. So basically, this is saying a lot of people have a natural urge to prevent injury to their loved ones and anger to those, and they develop anger to those who would injure them. But the people who injure them are, or in whatever manner, are also more or less victims of conditions and emotions. And if they can't help what they're doing, you should control your own anger emotion, or whatever emotion arises, I suppose, with patience, because you know that they sort of can't help what they're doing, and the conditions are ripe for them to do these things. If you can stop them without emotions, then you should. But if you cannot, you just have to accept it and control your own emotions.
Okay, great, Mary. Long explain.
Well, that was a reminder of the one before.
Okay, so you did better than Shanti Deva. Okay, 66. Debe. We have only one Debe here tonight, I think.
No.
Me, Khenpo?
No, Debe.
Devi Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, Devi. Go back to you.
Debbie Connor's here too.
Where?
I'm here.
Oh,
In the
I
dark.
see. I cannot see you. So Debe Connor, go ahead first. Debe
Oh, no.
first.
Sorry, Deb.
Okay, you said it was 66.
Yes.
Since embodied creatures are injured by both animate beings and inanimate objects, why only bear malice to the animate? It follows that I should patiently accept all harm. And let's see if I have any. So, I think it comes down to like agency. Like you said, like a virus, it simply wants to replicate, or a hurricane is just a hurricane. And so we don't like them, but we don't actually get angry at them. And, we look at beings who harm us, I think we get fixated and wrapped up on the idea that why is this person harming me? Why aren't things going my way? And we need to understand that, that is a trap. The way of thinking that says, oh, this person is harming me, and it's because they want to harm me, and I get angry at that, that is a trap. And we need to look at that and look through it and see that it's kind of poisoning our minds. Is that okay?
Yes, great, Debe. Yeah. So we have some has a mind, some didn't have a mind to harm us, right? Usually we hatred to the who has a mind. Who don't has mind, then we don't hatred to them. That's it, right?
Khenpo?
Yeah.
In modern times, I have a question about that. If you think about the inanimate objects being changed by the animate beings, like in climate change, we have bigger wildfires and bigger droughts and bigger mudslides, all from climate change, and that's human error. So they're interconnected in this sense. They're not two things. So that when you think of it as interconnected, it follows that I should patiently accept all harm, since you can't separate the two in certain situations. And even COVID has a human element to it. If we were all wearing our masks, the virus, which is a living thing too, without a brain, but it still is a living animate object, that's the same thing. It would go away if we behaved as human beings and took care of ourselves as interconnected beings.
Okay, so very deep, Gary, your thinking is very deep for
I think I have to think of modern times. You know, Shantideva time he didn't have these, but he had epidemics, but we didn't know about germs and things like that. So
Shantideva just I think it's like who has a mind is like we just directly see the who has a mind and come to harm to us, right?
yes.
Yeah, actually, of course, coronavirus is like they're also actually beings. Virus means like has something going on there. I don't know has a really mind or not. It's beings.
No, it reproduces, but it doesn't have a mind. But it's clever. It's a very clever reproducer.
Okay.
Anyway,
Khenpo, whatever.
I had other
Yes.
comments about this one too, because it used to be people would be mad at God, you know, when, I mean, maybe a lot of people don't believe in God anymore, but if something like this happened, they would think, why is God doing this to me? I don't deserve it. They might actually get angry with God. Or the other thought I had is that people manage to get angry and blame someone, you know, if it's their insurance company who doesn't pay for the damage or what, we're still able to get angry, you know, find somewhere to target the anger. Yes. We're very creative.
Yeah, so that's always like human beings related to the human beings, right? That's why something is not related to human beings. So you can angry to something like affected human beings, then they can be angry. If something not affected the human beings, then they cannot angry. You think so? See, it's insurance is who made like it's affected the human beings, so that's why it's companies affected for companies. They create companies created, right? So God is also we think usually the God to protect us. So they think is they have a mind. That's why angry. So someone think God is the same as the earth, then no one angry. There's someone is God is the same as like water, wind, then no one angry. So that thing is like spirit human being, something spirit power beings. God is that's why they're angry, right? Okay. So then go to next one is a DBB.
Okay. 67.
Yes.
Okay. Should one person ignorantly do wrong and another ignorantly become angry with him, who should be at fault and who would be without fault? So here, Khenpo, you talked about that if you broke it kind of down, if one person ignorantly does wrong, so our enemies are ignorantly doing harm, and then we fight back through anger, which is through ignorance. Someone is harming us and then we fight back, and both are wrong because both are doing these actions through ignorance. So Shantideva said, no one is right, both are wrong because we're acting out of ignorance. And if one of the person controls their emotion, then they would be the one that would be right. They would not have fault.
Yes. That's correct, right? Shanti, they were correct. It is correctly 100%. Okay, so now go to EDG, please. 68.
68.
Yes.
Why did I previously commit those actions, because of which others now cause me harm? Since everything is related to my actions, why should I bear malice towards these enemies? Okay, so this we're talking about the karma ripening here, and the karma is ripening or coming into being based on my past lives, and my past lives, what I did in the past lives is affecting the current causes and conditions. And so because I did harm in the past, others are causing harm, which is payback.
Yes.
And since everything's related to my actions, I'm getting my due reward.
Yeah, why are we going to angry for them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So someone lend money or borrow money for us, so they ask to pay back, so we have to pay back. Why are we going to angry for them? So then go to 69, Thomas, please, 69. 69 or 68?
69.
Mm-hmm.
When I have seen this to be so, I should strive for what is meritorious, in order to certainly bring about loving thoughts between all. When we recognize the situation, the cause and effect, the karma, we should cause happiness for all. We should bring love and kindness, and try to turn this negative karma into positive karma.
Yes. Yeah, you did it correctly. Good.
Thank
you. Yes. 69. Everyone okay that? Yes. So we just recognize the cause and the effect. Then create positive karma. Put more effort, benefit others. Okay. So then 70 is Tom Wazer. Can you do 70? 70?
Okay. For example, when a fire in one house has moved into another house, it is right to get rid of straw and such things that will cause the fire to spread. So if one person gets angry and the other person sees the anger, it's the right time to analyze your own mind to see if there's anything that'll spread the anger, and to quickly either squelch your own fire or get rid of what may cause the anger to spread.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just we have to stop anger right away there, right? Small problem time, we have to stop that. Otherwise, big problems, then no one can stop. But people don't do that. Usually, ignorantly, when small problems, no one agree each other. Then big mess. Then try to talk. That's human beings does, right? big mess, then really destroy everything. After then they're going to talk. The all countries, all beings does like that. Okay, so now next is David, please.
It's me, Khenpo, now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 71.
71.
71, yeah. Likewise, when the fire of hatred spread to whatever my mind is attached, I should immediately get rid of it for fear of my merit being burned. Just checking my notes. Yeah, well, he said that the anger going to arise in my mind when I get mad with somebody or any situation. And he's going to start to control myself, and I'm going to get out of control. The anger, normally, what you mentioned this morning, is our attachment to our body, family, also the spiritual life, houses, car, whatever, the pets, the country. And we have to reduce this attachment. We have to understand what you said also, that everything is impermanence. I mean, that helps to reduce this attachment to everything. And that way we can reduce our anger, because if we don't stop it, the anger going to destroy all the merits that we did. And it's going to be more negative than positive. It's more easy to get negative than positive if we allow the anger to control us. I mean, that the key idea here is to reduce the attachment and don't allow the anger to control you.
Right. Great. Thank you, David.
No problem, Khenpo. Thank you.
So anger causes attachment.
Yes.
So attached to usually outside. Then the long as you have attached, anger arise, anger destroy our merit. So that's the reason we have to get rid of our own anger, right?
Yes.
Don't get rid of our own anger, then that destroy our own merit, many eons merit. Many eons you work hard, create, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Too
Thank
fast.
you. So now we go to 72. 72, Curtis, please.
Why is a man condemned to death not fortunate if he is released after having his hand cut off? Why am I, who am experiencing human misery, not fortunate if by that I am spared from the agonies of hell? I like the way in which this reminds me to take suffering or misery as an opportunity to cancel my cruise ship to hell. It's so much easier to take the pain maturely and with spiritual understanding than to be carried away by it into much greater suffering. That's what this means to me.
So very deep philosophy, Curtis. I didn't understand.
Well, it's kind of like it's if you've got some sort of suffering that comes about, it's much better to bear it maturely than to have to pay a much bigger price later.
Okay. So everyone understand, right? Curtis explain great or no?
I don't know.
Okay. Mary is laughing. Mary, please explain.
I want to hear what Mary says.
Mary says, what Mary says, we can see.
I like the cruise ship to hell. He's that's what he said. You know, you said it, cruise ship to hell. You know, you're cruising along. You could follow your anger straight down the path to the hell realms, or restrain your anger, suffer now, not go to hell later. What's better?
So what means the cruise ship is go down to, that means the cruise ship is going down to the sinking, right? In the water, dying.
A cruise ship.
Cruise
No,
ship.
it's just it's like the luxury way to hell. You wallow in your own emotion, and you're just giving into your own emotions instead of handling your own suffering in a way that will cause them to stop. So it's sort of, I think he's saying it's taking the easy way out. I'll just be mad. That'll make me happy. And it doesn't.
Okay.
I'll put it another way. I'd rather have a bad cab ride, you know, the pain is fairly short, than to get on a cruise ship and be stuck on a cruise ship for a couple of months in misery.
Okay. So you have many examples, yeah?
Well, this is an easy one to make examples with.
Yeah.
Could also say in modern times, it's like being in a car crash and, you know, being handicapped and in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, and you're fortunate to be alive. When he says condemned to death and having the hand cut off, that's a much more old world way of thinking of things, because the normal person in the old world would want revenge and slay the enemies who condemned him to death, and they'd be frustrated and mad and angry, and that's where your anger is when your hand is cut off. You want revenge. You want to slay your enemies.
I see it like if you've done something terrible, then it's better to, if you're continuing to do negative deeds, it's better to die than get your hand cut off, because if you get your hand cut off, you might still continue to do negative deeds. But if you're dead, but then you can't resolve it because you can't purify it if you're dead. So that creates a problem.
Okay. So I have a question, Curtis. When you get a car accident,
yes.
So what do you think that after, you happy or you didn't die, or what do you think? During your car accident a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was a year and a half ago. For those that don't know it, I had a bad car accident and I had 18 to 20 fractures in my body. But I came out very fortunate in the end. I've thought about that in this context. And, you know, it could have been so much worse. And I can't help but think that, you know, because of practice that I got off a lot easier than I probably would have got. The consequences of my karma were very, not as bad as they could have been. I could have ended up dead. And that kept me happy throughout, because it's like, you know, this really isn't so bad. I'm going to get through this. It could have been a lot worse. And I felt kind of like the guy who had his hand cut off. It's like, you know,
so you didn't get a handicap because you are fortunate, right? You recognize.
Well, it was a little, I was fortunate, but I was so fortunate that it's a little bit strange, you know, kind of like my karma was really, didn't have any edges to it. You know, it's like I got off easy from some bad karma.
Okay. Okay. Cut. Yeah, we got it. You're happy already. That's it.
Yes, I was happy throughout because I
Okay.
kept a good
I want
attitude.
to answer that. That's it. Don't go too deep. Okay, David. Yes.
Oh, I would say, I was just going to add on to it, kind of follows what Curtis was saying, but I think that you mentioned, Khenpo, that Shanti Davis said that if we really understand karma, cause, and effect, then we would understand that the small sufferings that we have in this human realm, in this human form, and that we can purify those karma, cause, and effects and not go to the hell realm. So it's a small suffering compared to not trying to endure those small sufferings and then going to the greater suffering, which would be eons in the hell realms versus a small time in a human form, purifying that karma, cause, and effect.
Yes. See, that is the main point. So example is like someone, see, it's like got something, did break the law in the road, something, he going to, what is the government, usually government cared people, like how to say that one?
Execute.
Execute, you see, execute, someone going to execute, like everyone already said, like court, decision, 100% execute. Then later on, they just cut the hand, release. The family is happy or no? Okay, sure, right? Their family is very happy because they didn't execute that person. He released. And that person also happy because he lose him, but he didn't lose his life. So in the human realm, we just get some sufferings, use that suffering and practice patience. So all this hell realm suffering is destroyed. So we have to happy whatever suffering comes in this life. So take that suffering, take in the path. Main point is suffering, take in the path.
And going back to Curtis, that very similar, he had a car accident, his karma was ripening, he took it onto the path, and so he purified hopefully a lot of karma. And so now, and we're all happy, like the family and friends, that he survived the accident, and he wasn't killed through that.
So definitely Curtis purified karma, he went to help others, so that's why he got car accident. But when he car accident, he didn't regret. He just happy because he didn't get big injury than that.
Exactly. Yeah, Curtis.
Okay.
And I didn't let afflictive emotions make me miserable. I was happy throughout the whole thing because I never let myself get angry, get depressed, or get afraid. And I didn't, it's not that I was, I had good momentum from traveling and good company like you, Khenpo Samdup. So, it made it easier for me to keep a good attitude. And so I didn't suffer so much.
Yeah, you recover very fast.
I met some amazing Buddhist nun at Angkor Wat one year. They had their hands and feet cut off by the Khmer Rouge. So that was a normal type of punishment. And here she was giving, preparing offerings for the Buddha, for pilgrims to buy from her with a little coin. And she had no hands and no feet. And it was so amazing, her beautiful love for everyone that she expressed.
So what the girls, can you say again that?
That was in Cambodia at Angkor Wat. She was a temple attendant.
Then what happened here?
In the killing fields, the war, the Khmer Rouge murdered all the intellectuals and the Buddhists and all sorts of people in Cambodia, and they normally cut their hands and feet off.
I see.
She was one survivor that I met who had loving kindness. She was so loving and compassionate and was offering beautiful tea, butter lamps, and all sorts of things that tourists could buy, and pilgrims for the temple. And she was her gratitude that way.
Thank you, Gail, so please, can you do the 73?
If
Yes.
I'm unable to endure even the mere sufferings of the present, then why do I not restrain myself from being angry, which will be the source of hellish misery? Yes, so we have to endure. We have to endure all these present sufferings because it's even worse if we become angry at everything, at our smallest sufferings, our little whimperings. So we can't snivel and whimper and feel sorry for ourselves ever. We have to really be strong. And the second any self-pity or self-clinging arises, we have to cut that from our thought processes to not accrue that karma.
Right. So can you able to endure the heat and the cold or no?
I have a problem with cold. I can endure heat. I have to wear a lot of
So
clothes.
you cannot, okay, Gail, you cannot able to endure the heat, right? Or
The
cold?
heat is better. No, the cold is, I have medical condition for the cold that I have an autoimmune syndrome that doesn't work well with the cold. So I have to protect myself.
Okay, so if you cannot able to endure the cold, so then Shantideva said this right now we have a cold is like very small, right?
Exactly.
If you cannot endure that, then hair ram has more colder than that. Like the body is become like opening up like flower.
Yes.
That kind of cold place going to rebound. That's why we cannot able to endure the small things. That's why we have to really put harder to practice and don't create causes of hair ram, right?
Exactly. We have to prevent frostbite since we're in human bodies.
Yeah.
We don't lose our fingers and our toes.
Yeah. So Shantideva is give really good instruction. If I can do like able to endure all cold heat, I don't scared, then it's okay, I can go to harems. But I don't want that, I cannot endure that, so that's why I have to really preventing my harem karma. Okay, so now we go to 74. Sandra, please, can you do 74?
For the sake of satisfying my desires, I have suffered numerous burnings in hell, but by those actions I fulfilled the purpose of neither myself nor others. So it's just saying it's sort of a waste. It's the meaningless activity to give into afflictive emotion, or I don't know if they really mean desire here, or just like satisfying the expression of anger. I'm not sure what that means right there. But it's sort of the cruise ship to hell if you take it that way. If you give into your anger, it feels kind of good to give into it. And even if you go through hell for that reason, you haven't accomplished anything at the end of it. You haven't created any merit. You haven't helped anyone. It's that lose-lose situation.
Yes. See, that's we all go through that. So until no, I'm beginning last time. Until no, the words explain I'm beginning last time. Until no, we stuck in the suffering, endless. That doesn't have ourselves, doesn't have others too. Right? So no, whatever suffering comes, we have to use that, something suffering use. So I'm beginning last time until no, we get so much suffering and the difficulties, and nothing is useful. No any benefit ourselves and others too, yeah? So no next, the Amanda, please can you do next one? 75.
Yes. But now, since great meaning will accrue from harm which is not even a fraction of that, I should indeed be solely joyful towards such suffering that dispels the harms of all. I thought this one was really beautiful. So when we practice patience, that suffering becomes useful, and we can rejoice in that. So you said you practice patience and the result is your joy, and you practice patience and it purifies so much karma, it releases the causes of suffering. It releases hell realm causes, I think. So practicing patience is not easy, but it's so much easier compared to the hell realms. And then I think it's very important to practice patience joyfully and not in an unhappy, sad, oh, I don't have a choice, I have to practice patience perspective or mind frame.
Good, thank you. 75 is a little bit harder, but you did a great job.
Thank you.
So, practice patience is very meaningful, great, and actually practice patience is really hard. But comparing to her suffering, practice patience is not that hard. Then practice patience has very powerful, purify our suffering. Also bring the joy and the happy. So purify karma, that kind of the main point is there. So next, then we go to 66. Is Maria? Can you do this, please? 66. No, 76. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, 76. Should someone else find joyous happiness upon praising my enemy as an excellent person, why mind? Do you not praise him too? And likewise make yourself happy. I think that we should praise everyone, even those that we consider as enemies, but indeed they are not enemies. They help us on the path. And when we praise those we consider as enemies, that makes us happy. The practice of patience is much easier than going to hell realm. So it's better to do it for everyone, every sentient being.
Great, Maria. Thank you.
I have a problem with this one.
Yes.
I understand that everyone wants to be happy, but we do have some enemies that would like to destroy us. And yeah, I'm sure there's some people there that wherever it is that praise that person. But how can I praise someone that I feel is that wants to kill me? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I see. So should someone else find joy or happiness, I've been praising my enemy as an excellent person. So if you think about you have an enemy, the enemy has qualities. You cannot praise that, but some other people praise that because the enemy is quality. Then the who prays to the enemy, that person get joy. And likewise, make yourself happy means like why also I don't want, why my also don't not press to the person, because why mine to you not press him too? Why also I'm not pressed to him, because I also want happy, joy. So that kind of, and likewise make yourself happy. Iriji, do you get or no?
I understand what it's trying to say, yes, but I don't understand why I would praise someone that wants to kill me.
Yes, Shantideva said, okay, if we want happy, right? We want happy. So happy cause is like you press someone that bring you happy. Then why you not create the cause of happiness? Because you want happiness. So this is like actually you press to the enemy and you get happy. You want that happy. Why you don't want to do that?
Could you talk about, instead of praise, say forgiveness? What if the instance of someone killed a member of your family, and to only get over your anger and loss and rage and sadness, that there's reconciliation and forgiveness? And on the national level, it'd be South Africa against apartheid. So could you use this verse in certain circumstances like that?
Okay, so don't go to very deeper one. It's just go to very simple way. Okay, we think about, and we doesn't like someone. Maybe they don't hire you in the job. You really don't like that person. That because the reason is he didn't hire you in the job. So someone, he hired another person. The other person see that person's quality, because the reason is the person he can give a job for others, and that person also many things success for business. So then that person is pressed to, so who hired the job, so company owner, okay, someone, so the press to him. So you also, oh yeah, he has good quality, even he don't hire me, but he have others, he have these other people, he give jobs for others, because the reason is I don't have enough qualified, that's why he don't hire me. Rather than I upset with him, I just recognize his quality. So you do that press to the person as you get happy too.
That would make me happy, sure. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, you just let go. Your holding anger is your mind. So or you already release that, then that helps you happy. That happy you want or not, Shantideva say, yeah, of course you want happy. Then why you don't do that? Just do that, okay?
Sometimes the stakes seem more important than that situation.
Yeah, just that kind of situation is easy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so think about the situations.
I think that many times we are ripening unvirtuous deeds of past lives. And so things like that happen, and we think that they are enemies, and in reality they are not enemies. And I think that our greatest enemy can be our own mind.
So here it says, see, upon praising my enemy as in excellent person means the person has a quality. The person is not 100% negative person. So that's why you can give some credit for that person, because he has excellent qualities. The reason is you doesn't like because he didn't hire you in the job, or he didn't take care of you. That's why.
I think I can help, Khenpo.
So like if it, like you ask questions, maybe some reasons I didn't give you answer correctly. Maybe you're upset. So then some people say, oh, Khenpo did a good job. He give answers. You say, oh, no, he didn't give me good answer. I don't like him. So then someone say, oh, let go that because of some reasons, like something going on. Maybe he didn't hear that your answer correctly.
Yeah.
You know, your question is didn't correctly he hear, or maybe he didn't understand something. So then let go, right? Something. So that kind of situation, you have to think this.
I'm working on it.
Okay, don't create big things.
Well, there's big things around, okay?
Like what, Ed? Like what?
Like North Korea, like Iran building that, whoever it is that's parading their missiles and so forth. Okay, I recognize all those people have good qualities, and there's a lot of things that their people like about them, but I cannot totally praise that person, though, that type of person right now.
He's not asking you to praise what's negative about the person. What he's saying, and he actually, Khenpo did say, which is I think really to the point, is that it would be exceedingly rare for a person, even though they're really, really negative in some way, it'd be extremely rare for them to not have some good quality that we can notice. And once you notice a quality in the worst person, let's say it was Hitler. I've seen pictures of Hitler petting a dog, fondly, talking with a child, really caring for a child. And yet he was one of the largest mass murderers in history. So it's not that you have to, it's just in order to diffuse your own anger, so you're not carried away with your emotions.
I don't know.
Another way to look at it is, you've probably hiked in bear country, right?
Yes.
And bears can be very, very dangerous. They can be man eaters. But you probably have a lot of knowledge and practical skill where you know how to behave in bear country. And even though they have the potential to kill you, you've still walked right through bear country before, knowing you're taking a risk. So you must have a lot of respect and admiration for these bears. Otherwise, you would never go there. So it's recognizing the qualities of even something really dangerous.
I'm totally in agreement with the qualities. I guess I had the issue with praising an excellent person, where, because the person has a few good qualities doesn't mean they're an excellent person. That's what threw me off there. So yeah.
This is like, see, it's here says, upon praising my enemy as an excellent person. So the person has a quality, then just, usually due to our jealousy or due to our problems, don't want to praise, right? So some like person has not really any quality, and that really harming all the time other people, then you don't have to say or praise to that, because no any qualities, what we're going to praise. This one, Shanti Deva here, clearly he said, who has a quality.
Okay.
So if you doesn't like that person, but some other people praise to that person, then you also praise that helps you, your mind is happy. You want that happy? Yes, then praise.
Okay.
It's easy.
I don't have, qualities is fine. I can live with that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I just want to say, can I just say one thing quickly? And that is, I work for the government, so the government is like my job. But every day at some point, I meditate and I wish compassion and enlightenment for every leader in the world. Because if they became enlightened, then the problems of the world would disappear. And I find that helpful because, if you have a new president or whatever, they come in and you just have to realize this person is so important to the history of the world that you have to try and send them some warmth and hope that, they find real happiness, because if they do, the consequences, would be fantastic.
Okay, so thanks. So now we go to the next one, 77. Lisa, can you do the 77, please?
Yes, that joyous happiness of yours would be a source of joy, not something prohibited. A precept given by the excellent ones and the supreme means for assembling others. So, the Buddha taught us that praising our enemy can bring joy to us, and be thankful for that, and rather than hold on to your hatred. Just don't hold on to your hatred. Just it doesn't help anybody. I don't know what else to say about that. It's a little bit a difficult way it's said.
Yeah. So thank you, Lisa. Yeah, you did a good job. So that joy is the happiness of yours is like, see, we press to someone's quality rather than jealousy, right? And you get joy, happiness, yours would be a source of joy. So press is like bring you joy. Then that press is nothing wrong. So that's the reason all the Buddhas is giving us instructions. The press is introduced to our jealousy. So jealousy bring the unhappy feeling. Press bring joy and happy. So that's the reason precept given by the excellent one, Buddhas. And the spring means for exampling others. So then you press others, and that bring you others become your friend. So jealousy become no many friends, less friend, and more enemies create. Press become everyone is bring to your friend. So that's the great thing. Something special method press to others, no hatred, no jealousy. That's bring people to your friend. Okay.
When
So
it
now
says assembling others, does that mean a larger group than your personal group, like leadership skills? Is it Rinpoche to gather a Sangha? Is it relating to something specific like that? When it says assembling others, does that mean a larger group, a community?
Yeah, it's a large or small, just our individual ability, Someone can bring big gathering, larger. Someone can just, small amount of number, like 1 or 2, 3 become as friend, no enemies. So that is like depending individual, situation. Long as the person has more loving compassion, press others, no hatred, no jealousy, that then become gathering more people. So that knows just in the world we recognize easily. Someone has more hatred, more jealousy, that people don't want to talk with them. They don't want. Is everyone nervous for that person? That person don't have much friends. And the people who are more tolerant, is more patient, is more recognize others' qualities, not so strong selfish, not strong jealousies, then people have more friends. People wanted to be with them and talk and drink together, eat together, maybe go together, doing together lots of things, fun things. So that's we know, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Khenpo.
Yes.
May I ask a question? Because I feel that this talk about praising other people. In some way, I feel if you cannot clearly understand yourself and what inside you, and you just superficially praise others, then you are just a phony, just hypocrite. You are not truly really like that person, and you know that you don't like that person, but you still praise him. That means you are totally a hypocrite. You are not truthful to yourself. You don't have to harm that person or tell them they were terrible or something. You don't have to do that. But if you really don't like them, you praise them, I really don't feel that that's good. I think that it's totally phony. Because you don't want to be a phony person. I don't think a practitioner should be a hypocrite. It really shouldn't. Because like the person just say about, if someone want to kill me, that's a big karma. And so we really have to dig deeply inside us and deeply inside that person why someone would want to kill me. And I really want to understand everything about it and just really develop compassion. And then I might be able to let go and do something. But if I praise that person, that means I am just a hypocrite because someone wants to kill me. Why should I praise it? I just don't understand because
Okay,
then
Laming. I understand. We just same discussion before. It's very similar. So the reason is here is with the not talking about the enemy who going to like enemy 100% negative one. So you know some just circumstances due to conditions you doesn't like, but the person has a good qualities. So we pick up the negative is very strong than positive. You know, think about it. Everyone has a negative and a positive. So no one is 100% quality has.
I agree.
Person has maybe 70% quality, 30% not really good quality, but 30% is still very strong. You can see that 70% quality you don't really recognize. Yeah. So that is the worldly people does. Worldly people does, and the ordinary people don't see the 70 is quality, strongly still seeing the 30% negative. So then bodhisattvas see the person's qualities too. So I just see the negative, but that person has good qualities. So I also see the qualities. I can share so others see he has actually some part of see negative, but he has all these qualities. You can say that, you know, you can share that because it's a truth if you recognize long as. If we don't recognize that due to that our pride and our jealousy, that's the reason we don't recognize. So that not the someone he treated that person's problem because the problems our own problem. We don't recognize the other's quality due to our jealousy and ignorance. So Shanti Deva said, don't always blame the negative, but just also your open mind, look the person's good qualities too. If you see the good qualities, don't say always negative, just also talk qualities too. That bring you happy too. So if you want happy, if you don't want happy, then always talk negative things for other people. Then the result also you're going to lower realms. If you want to be happy, then you also talk other people has good qualities. Share that bring you happy too. Understand, Lomin? Can you get? Do you get?
I get it. I actually was thinking about someone I really admire many good qualities, but the negative quality really trigger me and make me jumping up and down and really angry. But I really admire that person's good qualities too. So I talk about her good quality a lot. But her negativity really like just push my button. So in some ways, I finally understand because many of her behavior really remind me of my father and denying the truth and just pretend nothing happened. And that made me really, really upset because I feel that if you don't want to see the truth, and you will never be able to liberate. Because liberation is about the truth. It's not about pretending I am already the Buddha. No. That's what my stamp. I always admire that person, and I always say that her good quality is such and such and such. I can elaborate her good quality, really admire it. But her negativity really can upset me so much. And I finally understand that a lot is related to my upbringing. So related her negative, why it pushed me, because he remind me so much of my father. So I had to work on my own attitude toward this kind of negativity. And until I really accept that, like last time when you told me about I really feel that I feel sorry and I feel sympathy with my father's upbringing and all his negativity. And then now I can treat him like one of the sentient beings, not as my father who hurt us all our life when we were small. And then I have a little bit more compassion toward this friend of mine. She has great quality, but she has some really negativity. So I feel that this is not just, they cannot just say it so easily and like praise your Emily, praise all this, because it's a lot of work inside it. It's not just being a phony and just say someone, oh, she's great, but she really hurt people too.
Yes,
you cannot deny that part.
I understand, Loving. Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Yeah. So the main point is like, of course, everyone has a negativity, so no one is a Buddha, because there's the main point is like so no one has like 100% negative actually.
No.
We see 100% negative, but that's also true over we talking. So no one has 100% qualities, but if we like someone, it's like always 100% qualities. That's all we creating that, right? So that's the reason, as Shantideva says, like even you doesn't like someone, that person also has good qualities. If you really open your mind, like let go your jealousy, your pride, then you see that person's quality. You can share also, even you always share, like example, you say negatives, you can share their qualities too. So that brings you happy and joy. Okay, so now we go to next one, 78. Aminda, can you do 78?
Yes. It is said that others are made happy through being praised in this way. But if in this way you do not want them to have this happiness, then since it makes them happy, you should cease giving wages and the like to your servants. But you would be adversely affected both in this and future lives. So if you don't want to praise or rejoice to your enemy, because your enemy will be happy, Shantideva was addressing that perception. I thought this one was really funny. It just kind of made me laugh. So the example that you gave was if you pay salaries for your workers to make them happy, if you don't want to make, if you stop paying that salary because you don't want to make others happy, then see how that affects you. You'll lose your happiness because all is interdependent, it's connected. So if you stop those connections, the result also comes to you and it will stop your happiness too. I'm probably leaving something out there.
Thank you.
Thank
That's good. You did it very good. So see that someone doesn't press, like we do something, okay, that person happy, right? If we don't want to happy others, I don't want my enemy happy. So if you don't want to happy others, then of course you give salary for your workers, then also they're happy, but you don't want to happy them, then you stop that, then you can see what's going on. How it's affected or dependent, right? So that's also logic, logic. And so now we go to 79. Debe, please, can you do 79?
Which one of it is us? I guess I'm talking, so I guess I'll have to do it. All right. Okay. When people describe my own good qualities, I want others to be happy too. But when they describe the good qualities of others, I do not wish to be happy myself, which he described as kind of being crazy, and it is. If somebody, especially people that don't like praise me, I feel generous and I want, you have that warm, generous feeling and warmth towards other. But if that praise is going to somebody else, especially you don't like, then you cut off your ability to, celebrate the goodness in that person. And ultimately, I think in all of these, we're talking about the qualities of others, but really what we're supposed to be looking at is our own reaction to that. It's resentment, like resenting if, and I'm going to, try this week because I think it's important. If you're in an interaction with like that and you start to get that emotion building, that's the unhappiness that he's talking about, cutting yourself off from that natural, compassion, love towards, everybody. So when that happens, I have to look at that. I have to look straight into that resentment and try and figure out, first of all, say that's crazy. And then second of all, figure out a way to take that on the path so that in future interactions, I can make that, I can just walk away from it. So that's what I got from that.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yes, that sounds excellent. Does it talk about pride and jealousy as some of the adverse qualities that we have, the afflictions that we have? Pride and jealousy?
Can you say again, girl? I can't hear.
In another way, does it talk directly about pride and jealousy? First of all, you're prideful about your own praise and then jealous of others. And that's why you have hatred.
So it's this just like enemies, like describe, like enemy means like just not really enemy, like hate someone is just you just not really friendly someone. There's some other people just telling you good qualities, so you then want to happy them too. Then also if you then you just also say good things for others, you also get happiness. If you want to get happiness, then you also describe some good things for others. So example, you have a restaurant, others also have a restaurant, then you telling other restaurant has good qualities, even like you have competitions, like you really honestly, okay, there has good food, that restaurant kind of something telling that, other owner heard that they are happy, and then other owner also tell truth, so that also helps others happy, right? If you want to happy each other, so have to tell each other good qualities, kind of like that way, good review to each other.
Did you say restaurant? What did you say, Khenpo?
Restaurant, yeah, restaurant,
Restaurant?
anything like restaurant or hotels, like business, whatever you have, right?
I think I might be able to find another analogy in the restaurant.
Okay.
So if we've all been to a buffet, not lately perhaps, but we've all been to buffets, and typically there's some things on the buffet that we just really want to get on our plate as quickly as possible and go eat it because it's just the most delectable food. But there's other things on the buffet that we look at and we just go, oh, I'm not going to touch that. Who would want to eat that? Even though there's plenty of people that would probably want to eat it. But we sit there and we just try to enjoy what we like on the buffet and not denigrate the rest of the food on the buffet. But I have another thing I was thinking about earlier today. I think there's a way to diffuse the whole anger concept. And that would be that if everything's a projection of our own mind, then the things that we see, the shapes, the forms, textures, sensations, all of it coming in through our sense perception, we label it as good and bad. But really, if it's all projection, then the particular people, we try to create a story around this person said this and I didn't like, or there was something I didn't like, when in essence, all of these shapes and forms are only proxies. They're not they're not what they seem to be from a point of view where you can actually say that there's blame.
Okay.
It's not a personal thing. When something angers, when something we don't like, it's not personal. So there's really no place to get angry. And the same goes for if there's something pleasant that we like. There's no reason to get attached to the pleasant because they're only proxies that we've created in the past, and they arise in some particular shape, form, or characteristic. But we give them some essence that isn't really there to begin with.
Thank you, Tom. So can you do the 80?
Okay.
Yeah.
Having generated the awakening mind through wishing all beings to be happy, why should I become angry if they find some happiness in themselves? Well, you shouldn't. You should always praise virtue in everyone, or be joyous, or what's the word that is usually associated with that? Sympathetic joy.
Rejoice.
So finish, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's that just the thing about again this 79 is very simple actually. Very simple. Is like, I just give you the example, two owners restaurants, because there's a competition with each other. Then one owner is more open mind. He gives just praise to other. Then other who heard that, they are happy, right? So then also you want to be happy, and then others also be happy because you have to praise to others. So if you want happy, then you also praise others. So that kind, it's just a very simple one. It's this 79 is like looks very complicated, but it's another way is we can recognize very simple. So then we go to 78 is like, see, our mind is really big, create all this, take the Bodhisattva vows. Then just people get some small things happy. We don't we upset, that is a wrong mistake, right? Okay. So now we go to 81. 81, David, please, David, can you do 81?
Me, Khenpo?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I get confused with Debbie Jackson. Yeah.
No, I know what happened.
I don't know why. Okay.
Okay.
Karma, maybe. Okay. Everything is connected. Khenpo. 81. Just a minute. If I wish for all sentient beings to become Buddha's worshipped throughout the three realms, then why am I torment when I see them receive mere mundane respect? Let me check my note fast. Just well, okay. Just a minute, just to see you because I switch screen. Okay, that one, what I mentioned in my notes that I don't understand very well at this time, but if I wish for such a be to become Buddha virtue throughout the true realm, then why I torment when I see them receive? Yeah, that you are practicing, you know, the Buddhist, the patient, and you want people to be happy, you know, Buddha being to be happy and not suffering. Why, having that mindset, we're going to get angry or we don't going to like that? We're going to get upset because other people receive some uh, positive things, like you are mentioning the you know, the other ones, that mundane respect, that they have been respected by somebody else, but we get upset because they receive that positive reinforcement or that recognition. And he said, why we going to you know, why I see them receive, you know, I going to create that situation that get upset because other people receive that recognition. It's
Yeah.
very
So great. Yeah, it's very good words. That one is very important for us. Is we press, you know, workshop Buddha and doing practicing and talking about going to benefit other sentient beings.
Yes.
But then some other beings have something good things happening. We don't happy that. So that is a mistake.
That one
Wrong.
was very deep, Khenpo. When you mentioned that today, it hit very well to me because like you said, the mind and body have to be connected, and sometimes we, you know, we don't follow that so easy. And I found that they said that it's like a subtle situation. It's like you are trying to reach more and more inside you
Yeah.
to understand that subtle, that is so deep that you have to dig inside you to be
Okay.
aware of this, because you can't react because somebody recognize somebody and you get angry. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, very difficult to
So
get out.
next 82 is that Mary, can you do 82, please?
Sure. If a relative for whom I am caring and to whom I must give many things should be able to find his own livelihood, wouldn't I be happy rather than angry? Heck yeah, I'd be happy. So if somebody takes steps, basically what it's saying is somebody is starting to have some success, why aren't you happy for them? You know, if it was your 37-year-old son living in your basement playing video games, went out and got a job in his own apartment, you would be very happy. You know, but it was but same idea as the all other ones. You promise you want all sentient beings to be happy, but the minute they get a little bit of happiness, you say, oh, they don't deserve it. That's no, you can't do that. That's crazy. It's against all the things that you've been promising to do.
Great, Mary. So good example. Where you found that example when you're thinking about? Today you think lots about these words. Which example? What do you
It's
say?
not personal.
Bless me.
What?
Boys, invest me. What do you say?
Well, you've heard a lot of examples about this. Their adult children move back with their parents and then they don't get a job and they just live in the basement and they sponge off their parents. And if suddenly they pull it together and get a job, don't you think their parents would be jumping up and down? Yay!
Okay,
yes.
good. So 83, Sandra, please, can you do 83?
Okay, I think this one's connected to what Mary just said. If I do not wish for beings to have even this, how can I wish for them to awaken? And where is there an awakening mind in him who becomes angry when others receive things? So, I don't know, Mary just put it perfectly. I have in my notes that you said, you say you're going to give up everything for others and finally others get something, so why be angry? But really, the 37-year-old in the basement's the best.
Okay. So where is then bodhicitta, right? If you have no happy for someone like that way. Okay, so now we go to next one. Then 84. Lisa Killing, please, can you do 84?
What does it matter if my enemy is given something, not, whether he obtains it or whether it remains in the benefactor's house? In either case, I shall get nothing. So I think this means don't be jealous at other people's gains, including successful Dharma centers or get more money, get more students, and rejoice in what other people are doing that's positive. And there's nothing to lose in that way of rejoicing, and you gain merit rather than lose things, lose merit.
Thank you, Lisa. It's very good words. So that's also like usually we have a lot of jealousies due to this way. Someone gets something we don't get. And so actually we really carefully look to the reality. We don't get anything anyway. Even they don't get or not get, we don't have anything. Then why we just have jealousy, right?
Yes.
The rejoice is better. Okay, 85. Gail, please, can you do, Gail Percy, can you do the 85?
Yes. Just a minute. 85. So why, by becoming angry, do I throw away my merits, the faith others have in me, and my good qualities? Tell me, why am I not angry with myself for not having the causes for gain? Okay, so this one's about hurting yourself, self-inflicted hurt, I think. Other people think that you have good qualities, and you should think that you could become a perfect Buddha. And becoming angry, you're self-flagellating, maybe. You're inflicting harm on yourself and not doing yourself any good. Then you should have righteous angry about your self-pitying and then correct that. for not having causes of gain for gain. Yes, to correct that for not accruing merit. Instead of you're causing self-pain. I think that's what it's about. Anyone else?
Okay, so that's the hardest one.
Well, everyone can help me.
Mary can help, Mary can help.
Do we always need to beat each other up? Ourselves up?
Amanda can help, Amanda can help.
If we do something wrong, if we become angry, do we need to beat each other, beat ourselves up?
Well, the notes that I made is you should be angry with yourself for not creating virtue for future benefit.
Yes, of course.
So the main point is that Ten Shanti Deva here says this one. So he said, if you don't hold your quality and you just throw up everything yourself, then you lose your qualities. So then you really have to angry yourself because you throw your merit, you throw your qualities away from yourself. That's affected you, you know, right? So we have, that means like whatever we're doing actions, we have to really recognize what we're doing. Using the mindful awareness, and we're doing like, it's all, this is like saying things, it's become, oh, I lose my qualities.
For the anecdote.
Yeah, so then if you lose qualities,
for anecdote and change for gain.
See, we become angry others and then throw away my merits. The faith others have in me and my good qualities. Someone has faith, devotions, or some respect to you, something you have good qualities. You also have some good qualities. They all like become lost. That's the reason. Tell me why I am not angry with myself. We have to angry ourselves because I did a big mistake, push wrong myself, ourselves, right? For not having the causes for gain. Okay, so now we go to 86. Thomas, please, can you do 86?
Yes, Khenpo. Let alone not having any remorse about the evils that you committed. O mind, why do you wish to compete with others who have committed meritorious deeds? Well, we need to recognize our own mistakes and have remorse. And the notes that I have is, you don't benefit if I don't benefit. I don't want others to benefit. It's all about me. I. Be happy for others. The fruit of positive karma is happiness. Suffering is the fruit of negative karma. Try harder in this life.
Yeah, so that's also actually followed by 85 together, 86 also. Because 85 says, like, we lose our passion, create a negativity. If we don't recognize that, and also we don't have remorse for that, let alone not having any remorse. We're doing wrong things. We lose patience, we have anger, still we don't recognize, we not having any remorse that. So then about the evil that we committed the evil, anger. So then also that's also another is, why do you wish to compare with other who have committed meritorious deeds? Someone has good qualities, someone has good merit. Why we competed to competed with others?
That's
Okay.
right. Mhm.
Now go to 87. Debe B, please, can you do 87?
Sure. 87. Even if your enemy is made unhappy, what is there for you to be joyful about? You're merely wishing for him to be hurt did not cause him to be injured. And I have here, if your enemy is hurt, why would you want to be happy? Because even if the enemy is made unhappy, why would you be joyful? And what is there to be joyful about? So your wish for him to be unhappy, your wish is not going to change that person. You will lose your merit, and that person is following his karma. So if he's hurt, just because you're wishing it, that isn't going to change what's going to happen to that person. But what you should do is develop compassion for that person. And if your wish should be to make him happy and relieve him from suffering, and you said feel sorry for the person. So, but he's following his karma. So no matter how much you wish him, it's not going to change what's going to happen to him.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. So 88, Tom Wazer, can you do 88?
Okay. And even if he does suffer as you had wished, what is there for you to be joyful about? If you say, for I shall be satisfied, how could there be anything more wretched than that? Well, victory or satisfaction in some sort of concocted story we come up with how we're going to vanquish our detractors or somebody who's against us is just a story. And the problem with trying to pretend that there's some satisfaction in the destruction of our enemy, it's only going to hurt us. So again, it's just another catch, or it's just a problem that we have. It's not their problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
86. 86. Aminda, please, can you read 86? 89, sorry, 89.
Yes. This hook cast by the fishermen of disturbing conceptions is unbearably sharp. Having been caught on it, it is certain that I shall be cooked in cauldrons by the guardians of hell. I think this visualization is so strong and profound that I think it really helps me to remember this. So this is another example of harming ourselves, as in 88. So the emotions hook us and they take us to the hell realms, and then the guards in the hell realms torture us, but it's because of our own actions, for wanting to harm others. So the result is just that you're lost.
Thank you.
I think it would be a good one to memorize.
Thank you. So now we go to 9.
Khenpo, it seems like it's awfully easy to end up in hell.
Yes, easy to go to hell, but easy to get a human being. Also, go to 90, Kates, please, 90. 90. So easy to go to Buddhahood. You are mute.
Sorry, Khenpo. The honor of praise and fame will not turn into merit nor life. It will give me neither strength nor freedom from sickness, and will not provide any physical happiness. Well, when you have praise and fame, I think it can be a thing about ego, and that's not going to cause merit. Whereas diligence, endurance, and humility amidst suffering does create character. I think that's what I get out of it.
Okay. So the praise and the fame, honors actually doesn't have anything this life, right?
Well, it's just the stuff of the world,
Mm.
and it can come and go, and you don't always get it for the right reasons.
So praise, honor give you long life or no?
I think it can just build up the ego.
Okay. Praise, honors remove your sickness.
No, it's
okay.
I think when you're clinging to
no. Good answer is a yes or no. No, right?
No, I think.
Okay, that's it. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But His Holiness Dalai Lama has the Nobel Prize, and all the monks pray his long life. So he's very humble about his praise and fame. And he dedicates it to all sentient beings, liberation. So you can handle praise and fame in a correct way, right? As a wisdom being.
Could be, yeah. Praise, like that's actually helping us, but I don't know how much helping him. the praise to him and the praise to Buddha, Yadam deities that help us.
He's
It's
probably passing on the praise for himself to everyone, though. Wouldn't he just be passing it along?
Can you say again, Gare?
He would, any praise that he received as a human being, mortal, he could probably be passing that on to everyone, just giving it as an offering to everyone else.
Okay. So we asked him how he do that.
Good question.
We asked question, His Holiness Dalai Lama, so we press you, so what do you do? That really helps you or not? And you're giving to others, or what do you do? So Gare, please, can you do the 91?
If I were aware of what held meaning for me, what value would I find in these things? If all I want is a little mental happiness, I should devote myself to gambling, drinking, and so forth. Okay, so this is long-term versus short-term happiness. So meaning is liberation from samsara, right? So if we just want short-term happiness, we would just be enjoying a mortal life. Would that be correct?
You just guess, right?
No, I'm just asking everyone. I'm just putting it out there. Did I interpret that correctly?
So, Gare, did it correctly or not? Someone can explain? Saying that, say yes or no?
Yes, I think it was correct.
Okay. So Gare, what do you say exactly?
I was just saying that
This follow the together, 90 and the 91 is like have to go together actually.
Okay, okay, about priority first. Yeah, it's all temporal. The temporal happiness of the conditional world, and then absolute happiness. You're talking about absolute happiness.
Actually not that way. So it's here is to see if I were ever of what had meaning for me, means like this honor, praise, and the famous. That's really think about what meaning for that. If I get that, what a meaning for me.
That's what I said was short. That's what I meant by short-term happiness.
What value would I find in these things? Nothing, any value things, right?
Yeah, in short-term happiness, no, it's passing. It's temporal happiness.
then if all I want is a later mental happiness, then you say, okay, it's actually nothing helps, but I really want only small thing happiness, short term only. Then Shantideva say, okay, you this worldly desires give you short happiness that satisfy, that create a bit good for you. Really not. That become more you are suffering, you know.
That's attachment.
Yeah, it's that causes of happiness. That happiness is the causes of suffering.
Yes, and
Yeah.
attachment.
Okay. Mm. So then we go to next one. 80, 92, 92, 92. Lisa, please, can you do 92?
If for the sake of fame I give away my wealth or get myself killed, what can the mere words of fame do then? Once I have died, to whom will they give pleasure? So you have to think about your intention. I don't know. This one's hard to me to say anything, but I think like when you give away money, don't do it for fame because it has no value. Think about the intention behind it, and give up strong desire and attachment. And I don't think I explained that very well. It's kind of hard. If for the sake of fame I give away my wealth or get myself killed, what can the mere words of fame do then? So fame is just not important. What's important is your intention.
Yeah, that's also going to the like same is like follow the 90, 91, 92, 93 all linked together. So become like honor, press, famous. That reason so people, you know, pay too much money. Like you know, it's spending too much money. And then some people just seeking for the famous. They just you know like someone like okay want a name and then courage, belief. Then they fight, they die. So then they also lose life, lose all the material worthy, lose all the life. So that kind of people doing, you know, ordinary people seeking for the famous. Then why is this the benefit? Because it's empty words actually. Honor, praise, famous. There is empty words. And also, if you die, then what are you going to do? That nothing benefit anything for you.
Yeah, and it's a little bit related to anger because if you get really angry at your neighbor and you sue them, that's kind of pointless. It's not necessary. Curtis inspired me to tell a short story. One time I took a train, a 2.5-day train ride to Istanbul, Turkey, and I didn't have a seat for most of the way, so I was very tired when I got there, and I was by myself. So when you get to Turkey train station, the taxi drivers are not sitting in the taxi. They come up right up to the train and try to put you in their taxi. But I said, no, I'm just going to go find my youth hostel myself. Then when I got to the street, I was lost. So I decided to get in the taxi, and we went for a long drive all around the city. And then he dropped me off at the hostel, and I paid him a lot of money. And then I put my stuff away, and I went for a walk. And I walked around the corner, and there was the train station. So he took me all around and took my money, but I decided I'm in Turkey. I'm a woman by myself in Turkey. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to go to the police. I'm going to accept I put myself in this situation. So I think that's a better way to dispel your anger than go around suing everybody. I mean, he stole my money, and I had to suffer for that but it didn't really bother me because I was so happy to be there. So, but
Okay, so you good patient practice. Like whatever you lose money is like just then you didn't lose your happiness. The money didn't lose your happiness. So you
No.
take care of your patient. That's great. And this one is actually not kind of like that. This one is like you want to become famous. That's the reason you throw money.
Right, I see. Yeah.
So this is for politicians does, you know.
Yeah.
Wanted to get Nobel Peace Prize. They put so much money like doing things.
Oh.
That kind.
Yeah.
Wrong motivation.
Like they donate all their money to Harvard and they get their name on a building and then they're dead. Big deal. No, that's it. Okay.
It's better to use your mind to reflect. That taxi driver, he might have been in need of money for his family. And I don't know what happened. It's Turkey. It's a very different world.
Okay.
Maybe he enjoyed your good company. The money wasn't what he did it for.
I don't know about that.
Thank you also, Lisa. Thank you, Curtis. We go to 93, so everyone need money. So anyway, when you lose money, we just mind let go and generosity for them. That's it. So rather than fight, if we can do that, we did it correct. So now we go to 93 is the David. Please, can you do 93?
Okay, Khenpo. 93, when their sandcastle collapsed, children hold in despair. Likewise, when my praise and reputation decline, my mind becomes like a little child. What you mentioned today, this morning, is that, you know, if we attach to our reputation and praise, it will be like the child when they are doing something like that and it collapses. We don't receive the praise and the reputation that we want. We're going to feel like a child. We're going to be attached to that. We're going to suffer about that. And you mentioned that Shaktiveda gives us instruction to avoid that. That don't get attached to praise and repetition, because decline our mind and we're going to cry attached to that.
Yes. So
Go.
we live there, right?
Huh?
We finished everything.
Yeah, we finish. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
So-
the last one for today.
Anyone has any comment? The last one. The last one is a very easy one.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Okay, so then we're going to do the dedication together. Mary Link, I don't know if you can hear, she has picture there, but
Don't think she can.
okay, Sandra, can you do dedication, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
Namaho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewa Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teata pensa dria awapodanai soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri the warrior realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Drikumpa Ratnashri, who is omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Hi, Elvira, right? Elvira. Avira, right? Avira.
Elvira, yeah.
Yes. Hello, Khenpo.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm right now in the hospital with my mom. I cannot take my mask right now.
Mhm.
We're doing good. She's
Okay.
better, and she's getting a treatment that will last for another week.
I see.
So, but at least I can be with her most of the day.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's good news, Elvira. We're happy to hear
Mhm.
that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good to see
We're
you.
Good to see you.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So today,
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
harder, really hard if you also have to read the commentaries, Tibetans, like some is hard, difficult to understand the words, follows, some is easy, but so some is go many, these verses together. So read together, then you understand and helps that way to more clear understand. So if you only focus on one verses too much, then harder to understand. Go length many verses together is better understand.
Yes, thank you, because I never could have put the verses together by myself. You're very good at knowing how to do that.
Okay, thanks, Ger. Okay.
It was very good teaching, Khenpo, today. Thank you very much. Very.
Thank you. I didn't
It
do
really-
anything. I repeat what Shangdi Deva says.
Well, you did it very well because
Deva says
we
he
understand
did it
that.
very good. He asked all others, if without Shangdi Deva, I'm never even going to think about this kind.
Khenpo, you're a very patient teacher. Thank you so much.
It's a very important chapter.
We all have patience, so that's all is interdependent, right? We all have a patience. We spend 2 hours morning, 2 hours evening. Wow.
But every moment of the day, we need patience. It comes up every day. We have problems with patience.
Oh yeah.
So that's
in situations.
patience for Dharma. That is the highest level patience. You can have patience like other worldly things, but usually people didn't have patience with Dharma. So actually we're practicing patience right now. So we're talking about patience. Actually, we're practicing patience.
Excellent.
I feel like I'm in a graduate seminar on patience.
Yes, I could use a lot of patience.
So good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Elvira.
So good to see you.
Bye, Dave.
Bye, Elvira. See you tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
bye.
Bye.
You look like a doctor.
I wish. Bye, bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
Debbie.
See you guys.
Night, all.
Dr. Elvira.